Welcome back to Grow Lincoln with Dave Albers and Robin Eshelman. Robin, we have, well, one of the people that we talked about earlier in the studio with us right now.
Yes, we've a longtime friend of mine, Angela Paolini from ServiceMaster Professional Building Maintenance. Her husband and I go back probably 20 years, back when Ed Nix owned ServiceMaster. Right. Good to see you today.
Good to see you, Robin.
How long has ServiceMaster been in Lincoln? I mean, that is a household name.
It's actually been in Lincoln since the 1970s.
Yeah, a long time. And when did you buy the business?
2009.
That is very recent.
Yes.
How many employees do you guys have over there?
We have a little over 200 employees.
200?
You are kidding me.
Nope.
200 employees?
Oh, my
Yes.
gosh. That's as much as like a department store.
I know, right?
Oh, good grief. I didn't know it was that many.
Yes.
Well,
oh, wow.
You recently, and this is partly why we wanted to have you in, I remember when you spoke out, and I thought it was frankly courageous to do this, and especially considering how it all turned out. But you took a public position against the minimum wage increase, kind of surprised me. And you said that it was going to drive costs up, and I remember that last fall. But now that it has actually been implemented, I would like to hear, what did you have to do?
Well, we had to do what we thought we'd have to do, which is pass the increase along to the customer.
Mm-hmm.
It's not what we wanted to have to do. That's why I spoke out against it. But that's what we ended up having to do.
But it went up. So you didn't cut back or trim back on the workplace.
We look first at efficiencies and make sure that our each building is tight, but the budget is on point, and we do that first. But honestly, the cost of labor went up.
Yeah.
And when you bid a contract, you include cost of labor, and we were including the old minimum wage. And so now that the new minimum wage, went up about 24% total. Come January 16,
yeah,
it'll be a
there's
24%
another one.
increase.
Yeah, another one.
That you can't get away from not increasing your prices.
Considering how overwhelmingly the vote was for that, did you get any pushback from your customers, or were they cool?
We got a little bit of pushback, but for the most part, like you said, everybody understood that it needed to happen. The funny thing is, the state pushed back.
Oh,
is that right?
That is right. Not every contract we had from the state. We had some good ones that understood. We had some, and it's funny how there's different procurements,
right?
And different purchasing managers, and they have their own differing opinions. And
well, you're in a business that is, I would think, one of your biggest costs is labor.
Correct. That is our biggest cost. That is about 80% of our budget.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Where,
really
a
are.
lot of other businesses, while it has an impact on them, the cost of labor is not as large as what it would be in your business.
Sometimes sometimes it's in our corner. Sometimes it's overhead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting.
That is.
And I know what you're talking about, the Byzantine world of government, where not all of the contracts are the same, and I suppose you had potential things in certain contracts that allowed you to pass that on,
Correct.
and other ones you didn't.
Correct.
And
Talking to Angela Paolini on Grow Lincoln, a brand new underwriter for our show, by the way, here on 1400 AM KLIN. How have cleaning products and equipment changed in recent years? Is it, we're in the 20-teens now, or whatever you call this decade. Has it changed since the 2000s, the 1990s? Tell me a little bit about that.
I remember when John he was the GM for Ed Nix before we bought the business in 2009. And I remember he had a goal by 2008 to implement capture and removal cleaning, which was introduced to us and created by ServiceMaster, the corporation. And they have their own scientists and chemists and people working on innovative new ways of cleaning and new products and that kind of thing to serve the customer. So capture and removal is basically it threw out the feather duster, the proverbial feather duster and broom, and you are now capturing the dust or debris through a vacuum, a hip vac or a backpack that you wear on your hip or your back. And you have a dusting wand for dusting, and you have a hard floor tool for floors for sweeping, and you're vacuuming up the dust and debris, and then you're throwing it out. So
Right.
Instead of moving it around and, you see it in the air when feather dust anything,
Huh.
and you can kind of see it
Right.
flow in the air. Well, it settles back down.
It makes its way to the carpet, and then you suck up the carpet, maybe.
Correct. Maybe. You never know.
Yeah.
So I remember that was a goal, and we implemented that, and we have capsule removal in almost every building now.
So do they carry, this all happens at night while we're sleeping. So is it a part of the duster that it's a vac, or two separate implements?
It is the all one piece. So you wear your hip back,
Oh.
you've got a hose. I mean, it really looks like your upright in your home.
Yeah.
That has the crevice tool and the edging tool and the little bristle brush for, couches and stairs and that kind of a thing. But it's just a little bit different, I mean, it's a little bit more ergonomically correct, a little bit more efficient for efficiency, because obviously cost of labor.
What about
Wow.
the green products? Isn't that been a big
Yes.
change in recent years?
Yes. So that's part of the capture and removal, is also the green cleaning products. So we have Green 4 is the line. Green for restrooms, green for all purpose, Green 4.
Okay, let me ask now, because I have tried the kinds of green products in my house that you buy in the grocery store, and honestly, some of them don't do the job.
Right.
Did the company have to struggle with different formulas?
Yes.
I bet.
yes. And we, there at a certain point, there is just no way to do it green, to be honest. I mean, to
interesting.
strip a floor,
Yeah.
right, with wax, you can't. I mean, we have a green for floor finish, and we have a green for stripper, but it just doesn't do the job like
It just hasn't developed.
it has not developed.
Yeah.
So, but everything else, we actually are very pleased with the product line that came out.
It just took a little while to get through that.
That's right.
I would think that, you've got different people that you're dealing with in building management and or the tenants there, and then you've got your employees there. I would guess periodically you have some tension between those people.
Right.
How do you deal with that?
Well, I think that you're talking about the tension between maybe expectations.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is right up there with the thermostat wars.
Right.
The cleaning thing is you've got picky people that want their office cleaned
Right.
like mom, and others that could care less.
Right. And I think that that's actually because you're really speaking from the standpoint of the facility manager, the maintenance team, the building engineer, the property owner, who has to make everybody happy. So when you bring in a service, I think that's the most beneficial thing to do, because now you've taken the pressure off of you and it's now on the service. And so, for instance, we have a quality assurance program where we have questionnaires and inspections, and the questionnaires are designed to get the feedback and hear the voice of the internal customer, the employee that's in that building, and we respond to that employee who's upset with the way that something is not being cleaned like mom used to clean, and we take care of it. And at a certain point we have to deal with what's on the task schedule based on the contract. And so we have to navigate that, but at the end of the day, it takes the pressure off of the property manager, owner,
Yeah.
facility manager, whatnot.
But boy, I'm with Robin. You get phone calls as a property manager from your tenants about a couple of items, and clean bathrooms and hallways. Woo, really. Well, people want those to be nice and clean.
People do, and it's, I know something that our property managers call us about a lot is somebody's.
How much of your
complaints about
business
that.
is dealing direct with the actual businesses, and how much is there's a property manager in between?
I would say about maybe 10 to 15% of our business managers.
Oh, and so
Okay.
most of it is with the actual company in Lincoln that
Yeah.
needs the
Correct.
service. Well, how do they contact you if they are unhappy with the cleaning in their building currently and maybe want to have you price it out for them?
They can call us at 402-476-2194, a little plug for ServiceMaster there, or go on the website, ServiceMasterLincoln.com.
Okay, there you go.
Well, thank you for coming in, and very interesting information there.
Yeah, to hear about your corner of the world and what you're dealing with on nights and weekends
That's
while all the
right.
rest of
I'm
us
sleeping.
are home watching TV. Yeah, you're in a different world, and how labor intensive.
Yes.
Yeah,
for
I
businesses.
I
Oh my
really
gosh.
thought about you guys when this minimum wage change
Yes.
came. Yeah, it just really makes a difference.
It does. It does.
Coming up next, what might slow down the closing of your home? We're going to be talking to Nebraska Title. This is Robin.
And this is Dave, and we'll be right back.